If you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it bad and then you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. Some of you love sleep more than you love success. And I'm here to tell you today, if you're going to be successful, you gotta be willing to give up sleep. If you get to the point.
Yo, 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 yo. What is good? Happy hump day, folks. Wednesday is around the corner. About to hit I 95 and roll right into Thursday. Peace, blessings, and love to each and every single one of you from my house to your house. Welcome to another episode of Assembly of Excellence. Pardon my background. Pardon my background. There's a lot of work in progress that needs to be taken care of. I've had a lot of that happening as of late. But we are here, we are live, we are present in sound, mind, body, and spirit. I am honored and privileged to be with you guys one more day. I hope all is well. I hope your week is treating you well. If you are, amongst the land of the living right now, then it's definitely a blessing. You know how I like to do these. I always want to give it up for my content creators, writers, streamers, my former panelists, to the people that I've worked with prior on projects, to the ones that I will work with in the near future. I thank each and every single one of you for your time, energy, and effort, for your art, for sharing a part of your soul with us and the community. Thank you. I know it's probably been a very rough and taxing week for a lot of us, but hold on, keep pushing. Every step is going to take you somewhere. Just be very mindful with the steps that you do take and where you're allowing them to carry you. This Saturday, we spin the block. I have another panel coming up. This time, I'm a little more prepared than I was the first. It's going to be a good one. And we got some things that we got to talk about. Be on the lookout for that flyer. Um, I'm on a mission, and it's going to be a very difficult one, but I'm going to make sure I get into it. I promise you that. But we got some things that we got to talk about tonight, and I got my co-host on here. I'm about to bring him up. What's good? What's good?
Good evening, man. How's it going?
Talk to me. Oh, I'm good, man. I'm good. Anytime you make it to Wednesday, it's always a win for me. Monday and
Hump,
Tuesday be the roughest ones. If you can make it to Wednesday, you can make it the rest of the week.
hump day, man. Hump day.
Exactly. Exactly. You on your shit, huh? Trying to show off, huh? I see you in all black.
Yeah,
Okay.
I see the background. I see how you doing it over there. You living up. All right.
Oh no, my shit falling apart. I gotta get that shit back in order, man.
Nah, they ain't it, man. You
I
got a
had the whole
microphone.
lighting up there.
See how you do me? You
Oh,
got a microphone.
okay, all
You got a microphone. You don't even got a hold, man. You moved up.
right. Little something, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get there.
All right. So what's on the menu tonight?
Oh, this one on you. You know what I'm saying? I can't story tell like you, even though I screenwrite and shit. But you kind of have a way with words. I didn't know what this was going to be about until you brought it to my attention. And after you spoke on it, I was just so. I'm just like, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Why not? Fuck it.
All right.
So the
So
ball in your court.
that's good. Um, we're gonna talk about domestic violence, folks. Uh, had a little altercation earlier, man, and it's 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 just funny how a simple disagreement can turn real chaotic. You know what I'm saying? So, and all I can say is nobody got hurt, but they could have got hurt. You know what I mean? So, what I want to bring to the table tonight is this is my question: why is it that when a disagreement come up, why can't people? I'm gonna say grown men handle a disagreement on a mature level? Why do it have to always uh, spill over to violence? Why we gotta always have a tragedy, something simple that could have been handled?
I think that's the question that's been racking in the minds of the world for generations upon generations, sir. That's a very loaded question.
Because the
Very
way I
loaded
see it,
question.
man, the way I see it, people got different opinions, right? People got different way of thinking. They got a different way of doing things, and that's fine and dandy. Like for example, me and yourself, sir. You know what I'm saying? We different. You know what I'm saying? But we do find a common ground on certain stuff. But the difference is we can recognize and agree to disagree. And I'm just saying, on a normal basis in our society, we got a problem with agreeing to disagree and move right along. It's like a competition to each other to try to be right about something that could be so simple. You know what I mean? and and we take the smallest thing, blow it up to be something bigger than what it didn't have to be. I think that's a serious problem in society today, and I think most of these cases is done, if in younger with the younger demographics between the ages of 20 and 30, you know what I'm saying? They still trying to, figure their way out. They still trying to learn life and stuff like that. But I'm here to say what I observed today in that altercation is that it's more than one way, to skin a cat, man. You know what I'm saying? It don't always have to end up in violence. You know what I'm saying? I understand that respect is key. You know what I'm saying? Nobody don't want to feel like they was disrespected. They don't want their ego to be bruised. I mean, I'm with all that, but we gotta start thinking first with this because it cost us 30, 40 years of our life, man, and it has been costing people 30, 40 years. Can't even get that shit back, even if they do get out. So we just gotta uh handle disagreements better. We gotta handle altercations better. We gotta handle all types of situations better because every situation don't have to end with somebody got to be in the box. That's all I'm saying, and that's what people should be tired of. Oh yeah, we still gonna do the mute, man. So so everything
I
can run
agree.
fluently. So I'm gonna do the mute.
Look, it's not like since the beginning of time, from our ancestors, from Adam and Eve, all the way up to 2023, from LL Cool J battling Ice T to NWO, all the way down to Genghis Khan. War, fighting, competing for the spoils has always existed. It's never going to go anywhere. I wonder if it has any connection to why a person can't have a conversation in order to settle indifferences. Maybe that has a portion to do with it, but I notice a lot of it is more so based on ego and pride. and what we've allowed society to kind of demonstrate in the public to make it seem as if these things are attributes of alpha, of someone of a superior status. Being stoic, aggressive, assertive, um, primal, all of these things make you beneath that, and you're not argumentative, and you want to walk away, or you don't want to feed into the idiocy that comes out of people's mouths. If you don't subscribe to the ideologies that's been pushed, if you choose to take a different path, you're looked at as if you're weak. You're at the bottom of the food chain, and they automatically put you into a category that is completely at the lowest part of the totem pole when it comes to your position in the world. Once things like money, sex, celebrity, and when I say celebrity, I'm not speaking in terms of a star on Hollywood Boulevard or your face being plastered all over the highway when you're driving, going on vacations, and you see someone big ass face telling you to go watch this. And I'm not speaking about that type of celebrity. When I say celebrity, I mean when you've gotten to the point where women admonish or are more susceptible to giving up the cheeks or bowing to someone that has a certain stature to them, or when men, kind of admire you for certain accomplishments that might not morally be right, but they garnered some type of economical benefit in the long term. A lot of those things come into play. Um, but definitely you got to consider, the introduction to all of that we see now more than we ever seen before, just becoming more noticed. I'll turn it back over to you.
Is I'm coming in? Coming in? Is I'm coming in? It's a damn good topic.
Yeah.
Is it coming in now? So it coming in?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna touch back on what you said about the ego piece. Um, the pride and ego is a motherfucker, man. When you get in these situations, man, as a grown man, dog, you gotta always apply logic, man. You can't let your emotions take over a situation, because you can ruin a lot of people, man, by not using that mind for a few ticks. You know what I mean? So the way I see it, man, like I said before, disagreements do come up, but I think it's the way you go about handling the situation. Not everybody was raised the same, and in my opinion, I think when you have these some of these males out here, some of these so-called grown men, they wasn't never challenged, you know what I'm saying, coming up, you know what I'm saying, because I don't think they had a good example. They ain't never have a male figure, you know what I'm saying, in the home. So with that being said, man, that's how all the mistakes and shit, the way they be thinking and moving, how they might beat on women, um, quick to motherfucking jump to a nigga, and pretty much being chaotic because they don't know how to use their words, you know what I'm saying? They don't know how to apply logic to a situation to calm it down, because maybe I don't see shit like you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at it like that. We not the same, but you can at least give me my respect to enough to see my point of view, on see how I view things, and I can give you that same respect. You know what I'm saying, as a man. You know what I'm saying, and then we can come to a head on how we want to go about doing this. I think the altercation come in, or the physical part come in, is when somebody don't want to hear the other person. They don't want to hear him out, and then that's what makes stuff escalate. You know what I'm saying? That comes back into the pride and the ego and all that. And why do why do guys don't apply logic? To me, is because they wasn't shown correctly how to move correctly, how to think correctly by another grown ass man, man. And I think that's what be going on out here, man, with these dudes, man. They real they get real emotional, you know what I'm saying, when you trying to talk to them and shit like that. I mean, I'm talking to you, bro. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not yelling at you. You see what I'm saying? I'm not yelling at you. I'm not screaming at you. And if you really look at it, man, it's kind of like arguing with a female. You know what I'm saying? Because they real quick to be combative and give you that mouthpiece real quick, and give you that sassy ass attitude. Like, bro, I'm trying to motherfucking get to the bottom of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And all I'm gonna say is that's the difference. You gonna come up to people that know how to see it that way, or trying to come up with a solution, and then you're gonna have people that don't know how to get the solution, so they're gonna resort to violence. And I think that's how shit spill out, and go crazy out here, man, because everybody don't want to come to a common ground. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say it like that. They don't want to come to a common ground, and I think that's the main problem out here. Oh, shout out to the comments. Um, what it do, Coach? Man, appreciate you, Coach. What's up? Um, yeah, we're gonna do our thing on here, man. And basically, what I'm saying is, I think it's a maturity
Yeah,
level.
yeah, yeah. Appreciate you.
Yeah, you coming in, bro. But I think it's a maturity level though, bro. Like everybody not ready to solve problems the same way, and I think that's what spill into, what I'm saying, the violence part. But I just wanted to do this today because we got a problem with ourselves and how to solve issues without using violence, bro. Because the truth be told, if everybody had a hot head and somebody jumped to conclusions and get physical, or go grab that weapon, you know what I'm saying, and go ahead and do what you do to do, that person that you got, he gone, you know what I'm saying, and then you're gonna be doing 30 or 40 years without parole. So my thing is, all that come from people not using their logic, and they wasn't shown the correct way how to think. You know what I'm saying? So a couple of words can ease a situation. That's my point. And if people don't at least try to do that, then they wasn't shown to do that. And I'm gonna pass it back.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know what it is really. Like we all have gifts and talents, and they're all modified specifically for us. We choose a path that takes us down a dark road or a pretty awesome road. Yeah, along the way, you come across temptations, you come across people who might take you off your course. But ultimately, it is up to you whether or not you become something. It, it really determines about your willpower, your willingness to be better than what you were, better than your environment, better than what you were taught. I think a lot of the society holding each other accountable for not allowing the law take its just place within the infrastructures of our households, sucked in and caught up in the matrix, being sexualized, being manipulated, being lied to, when all you have is social media and these people in positions of authority propagating in their own idea what is supposed to be justice and what's not supposed to be justice, how you're supposed to handle certain situations versus the latter. you breathe being devolved from the lack of accountability. Why do we have people who hustle and think street life is the only road to abundance and joy and tranquility? Why do we have assholes for supervisors and bosses? Why do we have women that act like men? Why do we have men who act like women? Why is it so big? How? Why is it such a problem to critique somebody, or to step on someone's shoe by accident, or to say, "Hey, I don't like what you said." Talk about it. If you don't like it, we can agree to disagree and go our own way, and nobody can leave, bleeding or even worse. It never, ever, ever has to go to the point to where someone loses their life every day because they done created some British shit. I think people are lazy, scared, trying to protect the image. And the funny part is, you trying to protect the image for people who are doing the exact same things. Everything that we live and fight for and argue over and get into it over is nothing but vexations and vanity. That's all that shit ever is and will ever be. And you sitting up here getting your blood pressure all high. You getting on the phone with your best friend or your husband or your loved one or someone from your family bitching and complaining about somebody, or you just get so triggered by a person that you got to just snap at a person. I was watching a video the other day, right? Can't make this up. I was actually going to talk about this shit, but it actually ties into this. And it's a woman, Dory is her uncle that's in the passenger side. I guess he's recording. They're on the highway. There was a hit put out on the uncle. When I initially saw it, I just thought maybe she had road rage. She pissed off the driver that was in front of her. The driver pulls over to the road where you can actually park. She pulls in behind the car, and as she pulls over, two gentlemen get out of one vehicle. As they get out the vehicle, they unholster weapons and they unload on the woman and her entire windshield. Oh, it gets better. So as they are unloading on the car, she tries to go in reverse. But here's the kicker: there's another car alongside shootings. So another car ends up getting in the car as well. Comes to find out, they were after the uncle. This is in the middle of the highway. It looked like it was maybe around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. All of this for what? Really think about it. That vow that would bring someone to the point to where they're trying to assassinate you on the highway. There's it can't possibly be anything that important. And this is where I go into this whole there's something emotionally, spiritually, and mentally lacking in our people to the point to where you can't control your anger and your emotions and things of that nature. That you're so easily put in a position to where you can just risk your life and every what for some drugs, maybe a transaction went wrong, maybe he snitched on somebody, who knows. Regardless of what it is, it should never get to that ever. And I get it. People will piss you off. People will test your patience. People will always find a way. Again, it's inevitable. It's going to happen throughout the course of your life. You can't avoid it. Does that mean you handle it in the same? There's no justifying it. And for people who try to justify it and make excuses for it, you're a part of the problem. You're a part of the reason why these folks continue to do the things that they do and live free, because we're not holding people accountable. There's nothing cool about losing your cool and your temper over dumb shit. If you that immature and you can't have a conversation even if you don't like the person or disagree with the person, other person for your lack of control. If words bothered you that much, maybe you need to get some help. Maybe you need to do some more work on yourself. And that's how I feel. And I spoke on this before in a different way, but it, I tell you one thing. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give you the mic, bro.
Now go ahead, finish what you was gonna say though.
You better stay prayed up. That's a fact.
I second that. I second that. Um, all I was gonna say is, man, people. Uh, I just shake my head on this, man. Now that we're on this topic, now that we speaking on the different ways and scenarios that people get into it or something can transpire, it's like, man, looking back on people that just lost their life, or like you say, off something crazy, off something stupid. you can easily kind of like dissect and pinpoint, like, damn, you could have went this way with it and you would have been all right. You know what I'm saying? So it's just people don't choose when somebody's angry and they got a temper. That's the last thing they using is their head. You know? They let them emotions uh take over, and you can't emotions. I'm gonna say this: emotions can never lead logic. It could never lead logic. It's always gonna be on the back burner. To me, emotions supposed to come at the last. That's the last resort. If I can't get an agreement, or we can't come to some type of understanding using your head first, and fists come to cups, and then we throw blows, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? But that shouldn't be the first approach. And I think that's why so many of these situations end uh traumatically for people and violently, man, because they choose to just jump right into that part of a disagreement, which people still doing to this day. People still doing it to this day. And I really feel like the adults that's doing this shit, the parents condone that behavior when they was young. They never got corrected for being out of line and shit. That's what I feel like it come from. It come from not being checked properly about that bitching and that moaning when all you had to do was like you said, take accountability for the part you played in, for your wrongdoing, and if people slow down and really look at a disagreement, your ass did play a part in why the other person is mad as shit. So that's the part people got to look at. It's not, you ain't always got to be the victim. You ain't the victim all the time. You gotta look at the part you play in a disagreement. That's how you. That's the first thing you need to look at so you can start solving this shit. If you be honest with yourself, shit don't gotta escalate like that to get to the point where people might gotta draw weapons, or we gotta call backup and you get all these other people involved and now it's a mess. It's just the way you gotta go about handling it. And I just feel like because people was condoned in their behavior as a child, I'm gonna say as a youngin, elementary, whatever, it kept building up. You know what I'm saying? They kept that behavior and took it into their adult life, and then that's why you see all these youngins going to jail real early, because they don't have no fucking self control. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nobody check them to the point where they might have had to put foot in their ass to let them know, man, when you out here, you don't do that. You don't handle yourself like that. You talk first. You know what I'm saying? You find out the bottom line to a motherfucking problem before you just jump out there, and then you find out later on, man, and you did some silly shit, and you ain't even have to go that route because you wasn't even trying to think before you moved out there. So the time you make that action, the action can cost you your freedom. You know what I'm saying? And let me say it while we on the record. It is some individuals out here, you might run into them no matter where you from or no matter where you at, that will bring that demon time out your ass. So let's just put that on the table. It's people out here that will do that, and will take you from 0 to 100. Okay, I'll put that on the table. It's people that will do that. But on an average basis, man, for an average situation, it's petty, it's bullshit, and no, you don't have to end up always in a physical. And no, if you don't fight a person that you disagree with, no, that shit do not make you a bitch. Fuck that. We gonna win that shit too. Just because I ain't black a motherfucker eye or stomp him out, I'm a bitch. Bullshit. I can get respect without having to put my hands on the motherfucker. That's a real G right there. I ain't have to even put my hands on this motherfucker, and me and him see eye to eye, and we took care of that like as a man, like men do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's missing in society. You know what I'm saying? We gotta always get physical or one up each other. Like my brother say, got to be some type of competition to pacify a motherfucking ego just because you can't be accountable with your own wrongdoing. And I think if people can't do that, then you can't solve the simplest problems, yet alone when you come up into a mountain of a problem, you ain't even gonna be able to do that because you couldn't even solve a simple jump. You see what I'm saying? So it's very important to, if you see somebody and they bring in that type of attitude or that type of energy, I'm gonna say energy, yeah, to you, man, you gotta recognize that and step over that bullshit because life ain't even about that no more. We should be on some different shit. You know what I'm saying? Time moving on, and definitely for some people that's a little older, man, you can't move like you did when you was a youngin, man. It's not worth it out here. And when you find out certain stories that went a certain way that didn't have to, man, it's sad. You know what I'm saying? It make you want to shed some tears because a simple a simple disagreement was magnified, and it didn't even have to come to that. Look at the situation that happened with in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? With the story we did months ago with the mother in the store arguing with main man. That didn't have to go like that. You see what I'm saying? She we talked about it. We already did the story and all that, but yeah, man, that's if they could have kind of, you know what I'm saying, said some different things to each other instead of what they said, people would still be on the earth, man. It simple stuff like that. But because the the person wanted to be right, you know what I'm saying, wanted to force the issue, it's too late. Once something escalate like that, it's too late to apply the logic because you pushed so much emotion into a situation that didn't even have to be like that. You see what I'm saying? It didn't even have to spill like that. And then what happened? What happened in that story? The son came in there with, you know what I'm saying, with the chopper and did him in because that's his mother. You know what I'm saying? And he did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't have to go like that, but that's just another example of people not handling it the right way. So I think, man, I mean, if people need to offer classes on how to cope, you know what I'm saying, how to handle disagreements or how to develop some type of people skills, because I think we suffering from that as a people, man, as a society, because we was always taught, hit first, ask questions later, and all of that, and I get that, man. You don't want nobody to take advantage of you, but try to see what's going on first. You know what I'm saying? Don't be so quick to jump and explode on a motherfucker because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. So my thing is apply this first. People can do that. We can save people out here. That's the bottom line to that shit. You got it.
To sum it all up, when God is absent, destruction is right around the corner. He is just 2 feet away from you, in your ear, influencing every single thought. You know how you watch TV, or how you be in your phone and you be reading comments, or you be watching your favorite gossip shows or whatever it is that you mess around with. And that's how Satan is. You just can't physically see him, but he's up here. And he puts the images in your head. He puts the thoughts in your head. The emotions, the anger, the jealousy, the all of those things are synonymous with God and Satan. You can't have one without the other. Now, I hear what you're saying, Nick. That's why I say it's synonymous. There's always a balance. My point is, yeah, God is around, but if you don't welcome him in, if you don't want anything to do with him, who's going to have more control or more influence over your life? We all have the option and the choice. It says in the Bible, you can't serve two masters. So if you're heavily living a certain lifestyle that leans towards more so the other person, what do you think the outcome is going to be? What do you think the ripple effects are going to be based on your choices and decisions? When they say you reap what you sow, you absolutely reap what you sow. Every day we see proof and evidence of it. But for some reason, we act as if we don't understand why a lot of the things that are happening is happening. And this is my whole thing, because I understand, as much as we speak on things like this, it's not necessarily going to change. Prophecy has already been set in motion for how the world is going to, inevitably come to its end. Everything that we're seeing is just a repetition. And based off what you just said, I've never been someone that tried to play like I was God in that sense. Now, I'll admit I've stepped in and tried to do things that I thought were best for me that were absolutely not. In that sense, yes, I have tried to play God. In terms of dictating, judging, and deciding whether or not a person deserves forgiveness, I've never been in that spot. I would never try to tell you or anyone else you should do this and do that. Just because someone murdered and did all of these heinous acts and crimes does not give me the right to decide whether or not you live or die. It's not my place to judge that. Should you be put behind bars? Should there be some sort of ramifications behind your choices? Yes. But where do we draw the line? I guess that's another excellent question that we need to speak on as well. Who decides whether or not a person lives or dies? So we talk about if someone killed our family members, what we would do. We would talk about if we lost a child to senseless acts of violence, what we would do. We advocate for the death penalty and all these different things, but is that really our choice? Is that really is that for us to decide? I understand. I play devil's advocate. Wrong is wrong. Sentences should be distributed. There should be some punishment. But should there be limitations on how we go about handing out these decisions? It's one thing to be angry, to act out of pure rage and snap and do things that might cost your job and relationships with your loved ones, which happens a lot. It's another thing where you're sentencing people to life behind bars or saying death penalty, death sentence. You're getting the lethal ejection. I think that's something that I'm going to bring up too. That's going to be my next one. I really want to know how people feel about that because I've seen lots of stories where people will get up there and say they deserve to die, blah blah blah. If it was me, they would have blah blah blah. You know, but it's like, who are we to decide that? They weren't even in a position to decide whether or not someone live or die. So we give what they give. Is that what it is? Eye for an eye. But I'll tell you one thing. I'll give you the mic back here in a second. Your attitude, your anger, how you carry your conversations, your demeanor, your posture, your composure, your articulation, your ability to listen, process, and then give back a valuable piece of enlightenment within the parameters of the dialogue between you and the other person, good or negative, all creates two doorways, and you choose which one you walk through. But understand that moving erratically is usually going to be the most detrimental choice that you could ever pick. And it's evident every day. We see it all the time. We think we super really have this complex, like we're immune to living forever, like we have just the secret eternity, and is not the case at all. I get it's on you. I got you.
Yeah, this topic, man, right here, dope. You know what I'm saying? It's dope. It's real interesting because in order to kind of solve these, problems that we go through in everyday living, this shit can happen at any point of the day. You know what I'm saying? So we got to go inside somebody's psyche. You know what I'm saying? We gotta go on somebody's psyche and see just how they view things, and how they upbringing was, and how they would look to do things. You know what I'm saying? So I just think a lot of people just need that type of assistance, man, when it come to these altercations. You know what I'm saying? If somebody do something to your family, we're not saying that you don't protect your family. That's not what we're saying. We're saying get the logic point, get what happened first. Because once you get your information, you can decide at that point, you know what I'm saying, how you're gonna move once you get your facts straight. Because there's been a lot of people that will jump to a situation and not even getting all their facts straight, and then make a silly act, and then find out later, like, damn, I didn't know that happened, or I didn't know that was said, or I didn't know it went that way. It's too late. It's too late. And then by your actions, you can't stop the outcome at that point, because you didn't already participated in your own fucking demise. So now, by the time you find out the facts, you probably got people looking for you right now. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no peace treaty. It ain't no peaceful protest or nothing at that point. Your actions dictated the outcome that's about to go down. So that's my whole point of disagreements and situations and altercations. It can be all types of stuff that we battle, you know what I'm saying, on a day-to-day basis. But my thing is, be mature enough about it, be grown enough about it to see what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? Unless you was presently there to see all the details, you really don't know. You know, most people get hacked off of what somebody then told them, and they wasn't really there presently. So you got somebody throwing information in your head, putting you in a place that you wasn't even fucking there, and all of a sudden your mind take you to that place like you was there when you really wasn't. That shit happens. People get their head pumped up with false advertisement, and they don't even know what they're about to get themselves into. You remember the movie In Too Deep with LL and my man Omar Epps? You see what I'm saying? That man got himself into some shit. You gotta. It's always gonna come back. You gotta think before you act, because if you act before you think, you can't think at that point. Acting is not thinking. You know what I'm saying? If you think before you act, you can solve a lot of your problems. You can solve a lot of your altercations. You can solve a lot of your disagreements. You can find better solutions. You can develop a skill, a people skill habit that people need to use on a day-to-day basis. How to work with your coworkers, how to talk to people, how your boss should talk to you, how you can have a decent fucking wise conversation with the bummest person on the street, on the corner. And it's like, damn, you'll find out just by talking to that person that we got a lot in common. Like he got a lot of wisdom and knowledge to offer you, but because we look down on him, because he's on that fucking he's on that fucking bench all day, sleeping on the bench, we don't think he knows shit. But he know what he do know is all the wrong ways how to do it. That's what he know. So everybody is can be a benefit, you know what I'm saying, to teach you how to move out here. So we just got to be more wise and understand that window when you feel your when you feel all that pressure going on your temple, and it's like you don't want to, it's like you blank out, you don't want to think. That's the temper. That's that temper that you refuse logic. I think everybody can apply logic, but I think people just refuse to go through the process to solve the problem. They rather skip to the part where we fighting, and then you know either I'm gonna win or you gonna win, and it don't matter who wins, somebody gonna lose. Somebody gonna lose, man. So we gotta come to the point where we can use our mouth not to tear each other down, but to build each other up, and to find a middle ground, and solve all types of outcomes. We dealt with fucking economical crisis. We working on with money issues. We got fucking health. Like, it's a lot that people can offer you these days, but instead we choose that to focus on the social media and tear people down. Anybody that's trying, tear them down. Like, we got to cut all that shit out. We got to support people's businesses. And you only get one life. You only get one crack at this shit. That's it. When your time is done, you're done. People need to remember that. So don't waste it off silly, dumbass bullshit and games with people that it don't even have to be. It's not worth it. So we just gotta do better as a people, man. That's just where I'm at, man.
Miss Nikki, if you're still in the building, I made you an official moderator. You have exemplified certain things that put me a blue wrench. With that blue wrench, you have the power to anything in the chat that shouldn't be there. You can pretty much pin links. You have full authority to do as you see fit to keep the comment section in a safe space for everyone who comes in. Thank you for your support continuously here. In regards to, and I need to do the same thing for this brother too. We'll get there. But my final thoughts on this particular topic at hand: we need more prayer. We need more people on the wall. We need more people to have these discussions, not only in this space, but in other areas as well, on the job, at home, with friends, with family. We need to think of solutions and attack the problems instead of kind of deterring from it because it's not directly happening to us. We need to be light bearers. We need to be just as responsible as the next person. Now it's not up to us to force someone to see how we see it, but we should facilitate the opportunity for someone to be in that space. And moving forward, even myself, I'm going to practice these things more often wherever I am. Keeping in mind that you have to be very careful with what you see, what you say, and how you kind of organize your thoughts and your. We can eat a good or bad day just based off of what we say.
I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's just it's just about respect. You know what I'm saying? People want to be respected and heard, man, and just be able to dish out what you want to receive, man. You know what I'm saying? And then it won't be no problems. It ain't gotta be no escalation or nothing. You know what I'm saying? We people just want to be heard, man, and understood. That's all. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gotta be, you know, it ain't gotta be that's not even real difficult. You know what I'm saying? Put yourself on pause, put yourself in somebody else's shoes, hear the situation for what it is, hear what they gotta say, hear them out, say your piece, they hear you out. We come to a solution that's grown folks and we move on. Ain't nobody gotta perish like that, man. It don't make no sense. All that come from, somebody don't want to hear the other, and then the disrespect come up. Then, like you say, with the ego and the pride piece, and now somebody feel like they got to do something because they was handled the wrong way. So we gotta work on you know respecting one another, man. Giving that respect, so it don't even have to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Because people ain't playing out here. Some people will take it there in a minute, and you never know. You never know these days. And always, and I'm gonna say always, always, always be aware of your surroundings, man, because like I said, that altercation, man, earlier was wild. You know what I'm saying? And stuff can come out of nowhere. You just gotta be aware of what's around you and how stuff can transpire, from your experiences that you might have went through or something you might have seen. You just gotta be on point. You got anything else you want to add on this, brother?
My final thoughts on this before we get up out of here is basically self-awareness, slow down, and um, don't be so quick to act. Actually, I say take the time to do a little bit more work on yourself. Like if you're a person thinks you already got everything figured out and all together, you don't. If you feel as though this is probably the best time for you to kind of retreat within your some things that's going to probably help you, and you got a temper, or you're emotionally charged. This is something that you need to look into. to. That's just pretty much all I have to say on that. I appreciate you for pulling up,
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. This was
Nikki. Salutes to you, salutes to everybody.
shout out to the coachy. Shout out to you, coach. Up and support us, man. I just felt like this was a topic that was, man, overdue for real. Because everybody deal with it, some type of altercation or disputes, and or disagreements that they go through with people. And all I'm saying is, people, we gotta start having compassion and empathy and stuff like that, man. Instead of always being combative and domestic all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, find out what it is first. You know what I'm saying? Then you'll realize, like, damn, I was just acting ignorant the whole time. You ain't even have to go like that. You ain't have to go 0 to 100, and you still get the outcome. You know what I'm saying? That you trying to look for. You trying to get a solution. You can still get the outcome like that if you just think. You know what I'm saying? You'll get the same outcome without having to use all that energy, breathing all hard, tussling and muscling. All you gotta do is, man, find out what it is. Had that head to head, that one-on-one talk, man, and squash everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can still meet it head on, but it ain't always got to come to the fist. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's all I got on it, though.
Yeah, yeah, folks.
All I can say, man, we all just need to, we all just need
Yeah,
to
we
get
about to
along.
close out.
I appreciate you, bro, man.
Out, man. Salutes to you, bro. On Saturday, I got me another panel together. We about to get active again, man. And
take
I
it to the
figured
top.
out the cheat code, and we're gonna have us another good one for Lord willing. Yeah, Lord willing. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. It's important. It's very important that you hit that like button. That's the only way that I'm going to, or we, into the algorithm,
Support the brother right here.
so other
Good
people
dude.
can see what we got going on. It's very, very, very crucial.
There go that interruption again.
Y'all.
We battling, baby. We battling now.
Shit like that, bro.
Yeah, man. This this is
You can say it. It's all right. You can say it.
oh nah. I'm done. I did everything I need to do. I'm about to close out. Call it a night, and y'all go ahead and enjoy the rest of y'all evening. You know what I'm saying? Catch up with y'all on the flip side. Friday, Saturday, we definitely gonna be pulling up, man. Assembly of Excellence signing out.
One team, one dream. Let's keep it moving. We still rolling.